Como é que é, pessoal? Bem-vindos novamente a Undergroundsvoice ao vivo. Os meus convidados de hoje, Thy Antichrist. Thank you so much for being here. It's a huge honor to meet you. Welcome to Portugal, finally. What can you expect about the gig?
First of all, thanks Guy for having me tonight here in your space. So we are really excited, to be in here in Portugal and Porto for the first time in my professional career. So I'm really excited. It's a beautiful country. It's really nice people, and we are really excited and happy to be here finally.
Yeah, finally. We have to wait 20 years for see Thy Antichrist in Europe. Why do you guys take so long to come here?
Well, how you say, it has been 20 years of a long career.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's not easy this kind of career or musical career for South American bands. For South American bands, we had to work almost the double that the European bands or the American bands, because we got that kind of thing that we are coming from South America, we are working on the underground, all that kind of stuff, and coming here to Europe is not easy. Like for so many other bands coming to the America, to the States, is not easy as well. So, but anyways, despite all the kind of inconveniences that we are having in the time for 20 years of career, finally we are here. We are really excited. We are bringing the best that we can, the best that we had in our art.
You guys, 20 years of career, but you only have 2 released albums. Why is that?
Well, we had 2 albums, but besides the albums, we had an EP, we had compilations, we had splits, we had singles. Unfortunately, I had so many inconveniences, personal inconveniences, to be releasing more albums for the bands, So I started my career in Colombia. I worked most of the time in Colombia. Unfortunately, I think 8 or 9 years ago, my drummer at that time, he passed away. So it was a bit difficult time for me at that time, because I lost my drummer at that time. And I was planning to record with him the album for the band at the time. All the plans, they changed, and then I relocated from Colombia to United States. Right now I'm based and located in Dallas, Texas. So doing that kind of movements has been bringing a big impact in my life and my musical career too. But anyways, we are trying to catching up with the albums. Last year we released the latest album, Rat of the Beast, that was produced by and released by Napalm Records.
Yeah.
Anyways, we are trying to catching up, bringing the best that we can.
What changed in the band when you left Colombia to live in the USA, beside the lineup?
Well, so many changes, personal changes, professional changes, obviously, because it has been a really big change. Changing from Colombia, from South America to the United States, the culture, so many things around there is completely different. So pretty much in the United States, I had to rebuild the Thy Antichrist music band. I had to rebuild it from ground. So it was a really hard work that I had to be working really constant, through that time. Getting the music, doing auditions for new musicians to consolidate the lineup that we already have right now. So has been so many things, pros and cons, like everything in life, everything has pros and cons. But I try to be going for, aiming for some of the goals for the band, some personal goals. But yeah, we are doing pretty good. I've been doing pretty good. So the band right now is on a good point. So we are really very, very active, playing around festivals, tours, and the most important thing that keeps fueling the bands is the support of the fans. I think that was a really amazing thing that we are receiving along this time, along these years, the Hispanic fans, the American fans. So we got a really, really good support from our fans.
Well, almost 15 years between the first and second album. A lot of things change in all these years. The musical scene, your life, everything changed. Do you still feel identified with all this the early material of Thy Antichrist?
Of course, so you say everything changed. Life is about changes.
Yep.
Life is about adaptation sometimes, and my personal with my personal staff, I had to be doing some adaptations. You know, moving from one country, one culture to other culture. But I've been learning a lot. You know, learning a lot about that kind of process, because everything is a process too. Everything takes patience, working with dedication. You know, continue working forward. So that's the thing that the bands continue just going straight to the front, you know, going forward. So of course I've been learning about that kind of stuff, and that kind of stuff just make us strong, you know, with time. Learning about the experiences, learning about the changes, taking the best of everything, the best of the best of any moment. So that's my personal point of view about the kind of transitions and that kind of things that happen. You know, have been happening in my professional career, in my life too, in my personal life.
Yeah. Talking about dedication, you need almost 3 hours to do all your corpse paint. It's more time doing that than the gig, right? You have a lot of dedication. You have to really love what you do.
Yeah, about this is about love for the art.
Yeah.
You know, feeling, and it's my testimony. You know, that I really love my art, the creation of my art. You say usually I taking just around 2 hours and a half before every show. And sometimes the show is just for 30 minutes, like we are doing right now in this tour. It's 35 minutes. And doesn't matter the audience that we are going to have every night, you know. Could be 10 people, could be 15 people, could be 500 people, could be a big festival. For me, it's not about that. For me, it's the passion for my art. So backstage, before while the people start getting into the venue, other bands are playing. Pretty much I spending 2 hours and a half just with patience, dedication, just doing all the process of my art. Pretty much I'm doing everything by myself with no help, but it's something that I enjoy, you know, because it's art, it's creation, it's my artistical passion that I really enjoy sharing with you guys, sharing with the audience, with the fans. So doesn't matter the place, doesn't matter the time, I enjoy completely, you know. I feel like free, I feel that kind of freedom doing that kind of stuff, and I get disconnected of the world when I start doing all the process of the transformation of my body.
Yeah, it's not easy to recognize you without corpse paint. Can we say that Andreas and Antichrist 666 are the same person, or is just a normal guy in this character?
Well, I would say that it's a completely two different persons, you know. Antichrist 666 or the character that I perform during the performance or during the shows is my alter ego.
Yeah.
So is as I say, I feel like in trance. For me, it's like I get into a specific ritual when I get disconnected from the world. Yeah. And I start going into the ritual that I start performing before going on stage. So pretty much it's two phases ritual. It's one before behind a stage, behind and backstage, and the other one is just the live performance by itself. So it's that kind of the kind of full performance, the full ritual. So, but pretty much, yeah, they are completely two different characters. My personal life is something completely different. You know, I enjoy so many other things, but when came my character that I performed every night on the stage it's completely different. So as you can notice tonight, or the fans have been noticing night by night.
Yeah. Well, Colombia is a big metal country, especially in black metal. Can we say that Colombia is the South American version of Norway?
Yeah, in some aspects. Colombia has been developing a really big history about metal.
Yeah.
You know, we have some of the traditional old bands that coming from Colombia. So in Colombia nowadays have really a strong scene. Nowadays many of the European bands or American bands, they want to be touring in Colombia, they want to be playing in Colombia. So, and in Colombia we got really, really good bands. So we are living, experiencing a really good moment. So, and testimony of that is the Thy Antichrist. You know, Thy Antichrist, I create Thy Antichrist in Medellin, Colombia. And in Medellin, Colombia we got really good bands coming from there, and for the whole country too.
That's cool. Well, finally, thank you so much for being here. Huge honor to meet you. Last words for the Portuguese fans and Underground's Voice viewers.
Well, thank you so much for your support. So we really appreciate all the kind of support that we are receiving along these 20 years and especially during this tour. So we are enjoying so much being here in Portugal. We are feeling like a home for us. Other than that, so we hope to see you soon in the shows. Keep in touch through the social media, and I appreciate all your support. ¡Cuernos arriba!
Thank you so much. Malta, Thy Antichrist na Underground's Voice. Nós voltamos em breve. Fiquem bem.
Let's go!